Hey guys, I know it's been a real long while since I've posted on this channel, and I'm really sorry about that. I've just been so incredibly busy lately with college portfolios, and I started a new job, and I've had very little time to do anything other than schoolwork and the occasional piece that I either completely forget or just don't have the time to record the process of for you guys to see. But among other things, one of my New Year's resolutions this year is to try to post on a more regular basis on this channel because I really enjoy making videos and I want to get better at it so I can produce more enjoyable content for you guys to watch. Speaking of things improving in quality, you may notice that my audio quality has gotten a lot better since the last voiceover video I posted. And because I recently invested in a new microphone. So going forward, I would really love to make more videos with voiceovers and discuss topics that you guys want to hear from. If there's anything in particular you would like me to cover in one of these videos, please let me know in the comments or on my social media, because I'm not exactly the best at coming up with discussion topics on my own, and anything you guys would like to hear from me, I would love to do whatever I can to help you guys. Actually, before I get into anything else, I just want to apologize. It's super windy here, and if my audio is kind of jumping in and out, it's probably because my microphone is trying to compensate for the noise outside. So just keep that in mind. The piece you see me working on in the background here is a piece I was working on a stream recently. Just two of my OCs, and I've actually been wanting to draw them for a really long time in a more formal piece. But that's another thing. I am trying to stream more. So if you are interested in ever coming to see, they're usually kind of late at night. Sorry about that. But I will always post on my Tumblr, sometimes Twitter, and usually my art and OC let me know when I will be streaming. Anyways, that aside, let's get into it. Originally, the topic of this video was going to be bad OCs, cringy OCs, and self-inserts. A very played out topic, but I've, for God knows what reason, been seeing a lot of videos about that lately on my YouTube suggested feed, and I wanted to give you guys my hot take on the issue, which is shut up and let people have fun. So there's that. But I was having a conversation with my friend, and he mentioned curious about how I picked colors for my OCs and original work. And I thought, oh, that's a really good topic. So instead of talking about cringy OCs, this video is going to be me talking about my process for picking color schemes and giving tips for character design, I guess. And I don't want you guys to think this is like a boring color theory video. Color theory is my worst nightmare. I'm by no means professionally trained, and I'm not the authority on this. Usually I just wing my color theory, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And B, I think there are a lot of really great resources you can get elsewhere on the internet, like Tumblr and Pinterest and other art websites for color theory, and I'll link a couple of those in the description if you're interested. But I just don't think it would be a valuable resource for me to spend like 10 or so minutes just talking ineffectively about theory. So instead, I'm just going to talk about my personal preferences and things I personally do in terms of colors and color schemes. So without further ado, usually I pick colors after I've already drawn out designs. That's just a personal thing. You can very easily design clothing and things around colors if you'd like that. But I usually sketch everything out first, and then I usually do a lot of research when I do character design into the settings and environments that I envision these characters in. Like, I have a set of characters that are in a sort of 1920s-esque setting, and I did a lot of research going into that to see the fashions and colors that would have been popular in that time to make sure that everything looked unified and accurate. also take into account things about your character's personality and background for deciding on colors. Say maybe your character is a ghost or something, so you'll want to have a more pale, washed out color palette. Or in terms of character personalities, maybe your character is more melancholic. You might want to use cool blue tones. Actually, I like to use Inside Out as an example for this, because I think their color choices and the character designs for the emotions are really great, because they really reflect the personalities, for lack of a better explanation. But obviously you don't have to go to that extreme, but I still think that's a very valuable aspect that you can take into account in your character designs. Generally, I like to keep my colors in the same family when I work on character designs. So if I use like warm tones or desaturated colors, or maybe all green tone, purple colors, but you can use one or two colors as the exception as an accent if you would like. Typically complementary colors make for very good accents, or more saturated colors, or just something that deviates from the rest of the scheme. For example, you may have a character in an all bluish color scheme, and you might choose to give them orange or pink eyes or something like that. And it's important to keep in mind that the viewer will usually automatically be drawn to the brightest point in the image, or the most standout-ish, I guess, tone, and you can use that to your advantage very easily. Hot tip cheat, in case you finish a piece and you don't feel like your colors are unified enough, I like sometimes to put an overlay or a shade layer on top of a color I want to sort of center everything to, so it all appears to be usually that does a pretty good job of that. Usually, not in terms of selecting colors per se, but in terms of picking colors for shade and highlight, shadows tend to be more cool toned, and the closer to a light source, the more warm and saturated your colors will be. Hot tip number 3, I think? Maybe 2, I don't remember. I like to go in on another layer with a blue or purple color to add hard shading, in addition to the soft blended shading I've done in my flats, to establish a more clear light source, and adding a sort of complement, like a blue tone in a warmer tone piece, adds a really interesting lighting effect, in my personal opinion, as you can obviously tell in this piece that you see in the background here. I can't really think of anything else to talk about. If you're really pressed for colors, I super recommend looking at like one of those color palette blogs. There's no shame. I love them. I think they're a really valuable resource to go to. I use them a lot of times for picking colors for outfits. I'll link a couple of those in the description. Oh, I'm out of time here. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say on this topic for now. Sorry if I missed out on anything. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever, or don't. Hope you guys have a great day, week, however long it takes me to post my next video.